Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Hit the like button, Big Q in the building. And man, this one, a little reaction video, man, that we're going to talk about on the broadcast today. Now, this is Cam Jordan. Like I told you, once Cam Jordan retires, and it probably won't be this upcoming season because Cam and DeMario want to come back, and I do not think the Saints will say no. I think the Cam and Double D will give them the a contract that's feasible for both the team and them. And I believe that Cam does come back. Now, this is a video. It's Cam's doing this for his podcast that's affiliated with the NFL Network. Like I said, as soon as Cam retires, that's the first stop he making is going over there to the NFL Network to do commentary or whatever he's going to do. But he has a future there. But this is his podcast right here when he's interviewing Tyler Shough. Now, it doesn't start exactly at point one, so I invite you guys to go and check Cam's podcast out and give him a subscribe. But yes, Tyler Shough and Cam, from player to player perspective, is always a good point of interest. So let's kind of delve in. I jump right into it where they're talking about the Saints. Of course, Tyler talks about his background in Arizona, high school, football, all this kind of stuff. You know me, I just want to get to the football. I know about the man background, all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure you know. But if you want to watch the entire thing, you can feel free to check it out on Cam's podcast on the NFL Network. All right, so anyway, here we go. This is Cam and Tyler.
Now think about this though. You finish at Louisville. You come to the New Orleans Saints. Training camp. Rattler starts. You get a chance. You turn up from there. Now at the end of the year, I can finally ask. Do you understand that the Atlanta Falcons, New Orleans Saints rivalry just yet? Has it dawned on you yet?
Sick. Just absolutely sickening. I mean, I don't know. This is probably the only. I'm glad. I'm glad we finished strong, but we had this. I got this bad taste in my mouth, especially losing to those guys with kind of our team and. But yeah, I see. I'm starting to rub off on me your hatred for him, and
I got a lot of hate for him.
Yeah,
I got a lot.
I love it. I love it. I think it's just fuel the fire, and I think we're gonna kind of shore up this off season, get the right pieces, get everybody having that sense of urgency, and we're gonna hit the ground running.
Oh yeah. I'm still just watching the Tigger. I saw we just signed a wide receiver from the CFL that's like 6'5". I was like, yeah, big man Blastoise, come on through, big fella.
Yeah,
healthy Devon Valet, Chris Olave. I said, yep, and they just keep on adding these numbers. We get Bud Means back next year. Wide receiver room looks different.
Jalen Pope traded for him. I mean, there's a lot of great pieces that I feel like kind of people are obviously understandably hadn't played in a little bit, but just kind of sleeping on where they're going to be great additions. And then you got obviously the draft, free agency, stuff like that, where who knows? I mean, shoot, this time last year, man, I was on anybody's radar, had to kind of go through the whole process and wake some people up, and you got to turn on the tape and go through the Senior Bowl. I'm like, who knows who might kind of flash in 4 months, and we might be picking somebody and some great things could happen.
Absolutely. I need great things to happen. Whew. Come on. Year 16.
Yeah. Get a little, you got that juice, man. You still, how about 10.5 sacks? I was coming here drafted. I was like, man, this is gonna be freaking sweet playing with Cam. I've been looking up. I'm like, he's probably just like that old dog that's just on his way out. No, he's balling, man. He's
balling. Come on, man.
He's in pure form. I'm like, dude, this is actually awesome. And I appreciate all the stuff that you put in and sacrifice, because it's a big influence on me. How you take care of your body, how you prepare, how you motivate guys. So I hopefully you are back with us again. I know I know if you can, you will be.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. This first time I've never been on a contract. It's just weird. I'm like, when does my face stop working on the facial recognition?
When is Jay Roman going to start blocking the gate for you?
Yeah, like, hey, Cam, that first spot next to the door, that's no longer your spot. Move on, big fella. Gosh,
I don't know if that'll ever happen. To be honest, you could you could go to the Buccaneers and they'd probably be like, all right, yeah, I mean, you can come grab your stuff.
Come grab what you need picked up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cam Jordan, man. If just the last 4 years have not been kind to Cam. He's been dealing with injuries along the way. But what's really interesting is the fact that Cam this year really turned it up. I mean, really jacked it up. 10.5 sacks is a surprise. When we started the year off, I put out a poll: who will lead the Saints in sacks this season? People were putting and the number one choice was Carl Granderson. It was Carl Granderson was going to be the sack leader of the season, and rightfully so. You know, Carl did some wonderful things last year. He started pretty strong this year, and then he just tailed off toward the middle and kind of disappeared. You know, and a lot of that was he was receiving those double teams. Chase Young wasn't always there to play off. And then Cam Jordan just really stepped up, man, and did his thing too. So, you know, but yeah, Cam was like a third selection in sacks. Nobody, thought that Cam Jordan would lead the Saints in sacks. 10.5 to do double-digit sacks. Cam hadn't had double-digit sacks in 5 years? But for him to do it in the final year of his contract of active years, I mean, yeah, that was phenomenal for Cam Jordan, man. That was absolutely phenomenal to get 10.5 sacks to lead the team in his 15th or 16th year, whatever it was. That's absolutely phenomenal and goes a long way to his overall mentality and his positive mindset. So, yeah, Cam wants to win a championship. And I think that's what keep guys like Demario Davis and Cam Jordan around, because they see the team is trending in the correct direction, right? They see them going in the proper direction. And it's just a testament to him and his conditioning to be able to do that, man. But also Chase Young. Man, Chase Young had 10 sacks. He was phenomenal. He was named the Defensive Player of the Month. Chase Young balled. So, yeah, we were looking at it, a huge gambles, for the Saints. Listen, if you took the Saints to the casino, I sure hope some of them guys went to the casino and bet money, because let me tell you something, man. Chase Young balled. We always knew he had the talent. It was all a matter of him putting it together, him staying healthy. In the last press conference of the season, or the final game of the season, the press conference, he gave credit and homage to Demario Davis and Cam for teaching him how to condition himself to play for a full season. Now, granted, he still missed like a month worth of games. I think it was either 4 or 5 games that Chase Young missed, and still got 10 sacks. I just think about it like, damn, what if this guy would have played the whole season? How many sacks would he had then? So it's just phenomenal. Big gamble paid off for the Saints this year. And the biggest gamble was Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough was a guy that had one good year in 7 years of college football. He was a tall guy. He has a great personality. You already know that. Strong arm, athletic ability, but only put it together 1 year, right? Multiple injuries. He wouldn't give up. But I often talked about his temperament for a guy that had all these injuries, but he refused to give up. That speaks to the intestinal fortitude of the leader of your team. So I always talked about that. And, the old folks, my older people call it gumption. He got a lot of gumption. But, man, the reality is, man, the Tyler Shough and Chase Young situations are paying off. Major League. Cam Double D want to return for an additional year. I say bring them back under the right contract and just continue to address the needs, the defensive end and linebacker needs, like they weren't here. You see? Because, you are gifted to have those guys here. You know that when they're going to leave, you still have to fortify those positions. But nonetheless, Cam is going to be, he's a Saint for lifer. And no doubt about it. Cam, I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints offered Cam a position. I think that's something that the Saints are short-sighted on. They need to get better on. And I think that just speaks to the temperament of the leadership. Like if you get Hall of Famers, like players that really excel, like even though Drew wasn't picked by the Saints, but he's a Saint for life. When he goes into the Hall of Fame, he ain't going into the Hall of Fame as a Charger. He going in as a Saint. His biggest accomplishments was as a Saint. When he broke records, it was as a Saint. So guys like that should be gifted, not gifted, gift is the wrong word, but hired in a capacity where they're around the team on a consistent basis. Let's just put it like that. Having those guys around the team on a consistent basis. Having a Cam Jordan around the team, not in an ambassador, an ambassador role, but on a coaching level where he's a player's coach or something to that degree. Now we know they have, who is it, Jari Evans doing that. We've seen some coaches like Zach Strief. And Zach Strief was a serviceable big, but he's by far a Willie Rowe for any of these other guys, like a really good, top-notch offensive lineman. But you want to hire these guys and bring them and keep them around your team, hiring them as a linebackers coach or an assistant or something to that degree. You want to bring those guys and have that energy around your team. But outside of that, Cam Jordan's a lifer, man, phenomenal.
There's some surprising animosity now between the Buccaneers and the Saints. These games have gotten chippier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even sure when, but the Buccaneers swear we have a rivalry going on.
We don't have a rivalry with you guys.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. We should have a rivalry with every team that we play. I mean, especially in our division.
There's too much hate. I can't hate everybody.
That's right. That's too much raw emotion to put out.
You
got
have that
one
hate
good
in your heart,
one,
man.
maybe
Start
two.
turn on some. I mean, especially those.
Turn on the hate in your heart. That's good. That's a classic. Listen, this is the thing, and we know just from a historical standpoint, the top three really heated rivals. Maybe I can give you four. Four top games ranked according to me. Teams in terms of rivalry. Y'all put in the comment section who y'all think y'all top four is. But obviously it's Atlanta. Atlanta Falcons and the Saints rivalries are awesome. Besides the first game of this year when we played them, where we wasn't really, it wasn't even the same team. I don't even count that game because the rival energy wasn't there. The team didn't, the team was just lost. They didn't care about no rivalry. They were just like they was just going through the motions. The last game of the season, the Saints, and I ain't going to want to get involved in these woulda, coulda scenarios, but the Saints had 4th, 5th, 6th string wide receivers and barely lost by 2 points. Come on. You have Chris Olave, the blood clot and this long thing doesn't occur. He plays in that game. We beat those guys by a touchdown. You know that. We beat those guys. But anyway, let them have it. But the bottom line, the top rivals in my estimation is the Atlanta Falcons, number one. Number two, to me, would be the Dallas Cowboys, because every time we play the Cowboys, it's a lit affair. It's always good football. We don't like the Cowboys. The Cowboys don't like us. We got respect for the Cowboys. So it's the Falcons, number one, obviously. The Dallas Cowboys is number two. The 49ers is number three. And the Rams is number four. Now, you can flip-flop 3 and 4, depending on your feeling on that. But that's my top four. Falcons, Cowboys, I should say Rams, then Niners, because of the NFC championship game where all that went on. That kind of kicked them ahead of the 49ers, I guess, for the emotion of it and what kind of impact it had on the Who Dat Nation. So I would have to flip-flop those. But that would be my four. My four. And the fifth one, I couldn't give you a fifth one that would measure up to those games. Because I guess Minnesota. I mean, it ain't a rivalry, but it's because of the history. If you want to throw that, I guess the Minnesota Miracle. And when we played the Minnesota, how we chopped them down with the Brett Favre thing. This foolishness. But that would be, I would give you that bonus with Minnesota from a historical standpoint, us playing Minnesota over time. And those are also good matchups when we take on the Minnesota Vikings. But those are the top 5 most heated teams that we play if you're talking about rivalries in my estimation. Just y'all put y'all's in the comment section.
those guys, I mean,
Yeah.
they got a good squad. I mean, shoot, we were one game away from them being in the playoffs, and I think you got to stick it to them, man. I think that's a fun part I've been learning is just you got so many good teams in the NFL in general. But I mean, our division, I know it was kind of a down year record wise, but I feel like we kind of come on strong as of late.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, swept the team that won the division.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a don't see that every day for sure, but
right.
Man, I'm actually sick. I mean, I know there's a lot of factors that go into everything, but man, I think it all happens for a reason though.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to learn. You know, there's got to be a learning curve somewhere. Hopefully a couple of years from now, we'll be like, man, remember when the Saints just won 6 games and now look at us, hopefully back at the top of the division. The things that you got to work for, because you never know. That's why it sucks because it's such a great locker room this year.
No, I know. I mean, that's kind of been interesting for me because I feel like everybody's been so close and our record hasn't reflected it. But I think it's cool kind of hearing from you. It's like, oh man, this isn't normal. I know it's kind of hasn't been what we wanted, but I think it's a formula for success when you got people buying in, you got everybody's belief, you got everybody hanging out outside the facility, doing things like that's what matters.
No doubt. I mean, I think I even made 2.
It is a cool locker room to see it. It just materialized a little too late. Like we had, you go back and you span over time, like games that should have been won but lost. You can only learn from it at this point. But early on, it just took way too long for things to materialize. Like I was ultra, what was the term? Critical of what was going on early in the season because it was too much bad football, and it wasn't because of learning. The learning, it wasn't because of learning because they had veterans and you know who they were. They were dropping touchdown passes, dropping first down balls, dropping third down balls. You had guys out there that were missing tackles, guys that were fumbling, guys that were turning the ball over. The fundamentals wasn't there, right? Guys just wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. They wasn't finishing their blocks, and they had the health early in the season. They just was not executing as a professional team would. Now, scheme is one thing, but when guys make it to the NFL and based on their standing and they're dropping the football, they in touchdown mode when you're supposed to be catching the damn thing, you're missing blocks, running the wrong routes, and you see what I'm saying? This sort of thing is but missing. To a degree I can understand missing, running wrong routes in confusion there because. Even though you're supposed to be practicing, you're still learning the stuff as a unit. But I'm not very forgiving for dropping touchdown passes. I'm not, because especially if you're a guy that wants to make a lot of money, and you're dropping touchdown passes, or you got paid money and you're dropping touchdown passes, and you're missing blocks, or you're missing tackles, or you're rushing the passer. And you're not doing what you're supposed to do in terms of being disciplined with it, which disappeared toward the back of the year. Early in the year, the defense would rush the passer and just be totally undisciplined and allow lanes to open up where the guy can run from them. That changed later on in the year. So, over time, they eventually got it. It just took too long to get it to the point where they were out of it. And that's the point. The learning, it's a learning curve. But it's based on your amount of seriousness and your discipline to the details, focusing on what you need to do and taking it uber seriously will depend on how long or short is your learning curve, right? It does, because if all you do is play football for the New Orleans Saints, then if you're not playing football and you ain't spending time with your family and that's your job, at some point you don't leave football at the facility. You got to bring your playbook home and you got to study in your off time if you want to make it. You're going to have to get there a little early and leave late until you got it. You see what I'm saying? Now, like I said, a lot of teams dealt with the same thing the Saints dealt with, but some of these teams picked it up faster. That's the point. The point is learning faster. And not just the players, but the coaches was. He was calling plays that were totally stupid. No disrespect. They were stupid plays. And it was ultimately over time that he started reaching out to players like Tyler Shough and the guys on offense to say, hey guys, what kind of plays you guys want to run here? And that's a philosophy that always worked. That worked with Joey Burrow when he was with LSU the second year. That worked when he went to Cincinnati. It works all the time. If you take the offense and wrap it around your quarterback, then you can see it'll change. He'll adapt it. And you can see Tyler Shough got it going on later on in the year. So, you can go back and see, man, listen, a lot of this didn't have nothing to do with scheme. It was the fact that guys were dropping passes that they important passes. Now, a second down ball here, they're okay. But touchdown passes, when you get a chance to catch a touchdown ball, you're supposed to reel that gun in. Whether it's early in the year or the Miami Dolphin game on the back end, you catch that touchdown pass, that changes and alters things, is what I'm saying. And we study the game here. So, yeah, they got a great locker room, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't win with it or if you can't build on top of it. And that's what we want to see the Saints do moving forward.
Offensive line dinners this year. I said, no. I just want to be around the guys. Yeah. Caesar Ruiz, Eric McCoy, you guys show up, tight ends show up. I'm like, hey, this is low key okay.
Yeah, you pulled up to my dinner as well. That was sick. That was.
They said rookie dinner. I said, yeah, I'm coming. I said, yeah. Tacos. In fact, I'm double down.
Yeah, free food.
Absolutely.
That's the type of stuff you want. I want to do that forever. Just have like an open invite to whoever wants to come. Pull up. Like we're all kicking it.
No doubt.
And I think it starts with you. Starts with the leaders.
Absolutely. What did it feel like taking over starting job week 9? Like how was that? You were clearly prepared, but
no. That was short answer. It didn't feel any different. But that was because of how hard it was to start. Like I was kind of being able to talk to Drew Brees and the coaches did a great job, but I was like super intentional about making my preparation and the process and going against you and every single day in practice on scout team. Like I wanted to make that like as game like and as real as if I was playing. And there was a lot of disappointing moments whenever you're obviously not playing and we lose some games but kind of sticking to that way when I just got my opportunity in the game. I wasn't going to flinch and just go out. That kind of helped me out throughout my entire career in college as well. Just go out there and just rip it. You got nothing to lose. That was my mindset. Like obviously everybody has something to lose. You're in the NFL. There's a lot at stake, but my mindset was like, I'm not even supposed to be here. How many times I got injured or kind of counted out or hated on. Like, might as well just go have fun with it. You got nothing to lose, and you often end up playing better that way anyway. So it was a long kind of journey, but it helped me out so much whenever you got it because, as you know, you've been playing every single game in your career, and you got to stay ready. So you don't have to get ready.
Absolutely, and you took over with Storm. So I feel like people underestimated your athletic ability because like you take off on cats, bro. Like you really roll and turn corners.
Got a quick first step. Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. It helps with a little bit less melanin in my skin, but I got a little bit of
yeah.
But you only got to pull it out every now and again.
Okay.
I want to stand in there and rip it. Kind of disperse it to the playmakers, people who get paid to really carry the ball. But you at this level, you got guys like yourself. Like you can't stay in there forever. You got to change the pocket. You got to get out of there and make some plays sometimes. And I think that's where the league is kind of going. And a lot of the success QBs are having is using their legs.
Bro,
Tyler got a personality, a sense of humor.
Here, bro. Last game, Atlanta Falcons. You almost get sacked in the pocket going into end zone, threw a dot across the body,
right,
to Kevin Austin for
off
what should have been a
platform.
touchdown. And I'm still confused on what I didn't even know what they call it. They call it OPI. Like I saw a ref do something. I said, what the flying 47? I said, what the hell is going on? This is a bullshit. And then I started like I went the opposite way. So it's always us at this house.
I don't know, dude. It wasn't even a rub concept. Like there's plays, you know, in the offense is designed.
It wasn't a rub.
Where if you're within that 1 yard and you can block the guy or you can pick him and maybe he backs up to 2 yards and there's kind of stuff that happens and you're like, we tried to get away with it and we didn't. We got called and it's like, you know, shoot. But like that one, like you're just trying to like just get people moving and running, and it was like it was a car crash. People just kind of accidentally ran into each other, and I think the DB kind of like, you know, fell like into the stands or something, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what happened. I remember getting popped by two of the D linemen and just
you stepped into it, bro. Like,
and just kind of looked at him. I was like, let's go. Like, obviously a crucial play, but you know, it happens. It's part of the game. You know, there's a discretion element to it, but at that point, mid play, kind of randomness of it, you know, we weren't trying to pick anybody.
No, it wasn't. And the cold-blooded part about it was the referee waited to see the outcome of the play. If the receiver would have dropped the ball, there wouldn't have been a penalty. But he waited to see if the Saints wide receiver, which was Kevin Austin Jr., when he caught the ball and it was a touchdown, then the flag came out. And that's why during the live broadcast, I went off on the referees, because I strongly believe that, you know, aspects of professional sports are definitely maneuvered and manipulated in a major way. Now, there are many different levels. I ain't going to get into all of them here, because you can actually read. There are guys that wrote books on this stuff. It happens through the referees. The referees are the main element of manipulation in professional sports. The game is a great deal manipulated through what they call referees, which I don't even believe they're real referees. A real referee would call the play as soon as it happened. That play happened and it was seconds before the touchdown came, and he waited to see if it was a catch before he dropped the flag. And that kind of stuff, I will tear them up, because I get on them and I show that is where the manipulation happens. When you talk about these fake stripey people that's up here supposed to be officiating the game according to the rules. And the reality is that's not what happened. It wasn't a pick play. It was a play where they ran into each other, but the referee waited until the play to see if the guy caught the pass or not before he dropped the flag. And that's what I seen, and that's what I played on the replay.
Right. Man, that's what I'm saying. It was like a collapse play. You stepped up to you shrugged off a sack, knowing a defender was coming down the gullet, and like, you know what?
Yeah, he stood into it. That's a part of the job. Yes.
I was like, where does that come from? That growing in comfort level, you know? But was that like with each start, or being able to stand in the pocket? That gunslinger mentality. I'm lucky. I've never had to see somebody like coming down.
I don't see him as a gunslinger. He's not a gunslinger.
The worst thing I get is like
he can make every throw.
Motioning wide receiver chip or motioning tight end chip.
Yeah, and you just bow.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's kind of just the growth through it. You know, I think, like you said, in training camp, you know, that's a play we run every single, you know, almost every single practice, starting from training camp on. And, you know, there was a rep where I kind of scrambled around and had a bad throw or something like that. I threw it away. And, like, you know, obviously the notion that you got a 5-man rush, they're trying to get bigs on bigs, you create one-on-ones. There's going to be, you're not hot, but you're warm. You got to be able to step up, create some plays. And instead of escaping, a lot of guys, people want to back up, you know, take two hands off, take one hand off the ball and
get a better look.
Willy-nilly. And I think just the continual growth through, I mean, having that play in scouting, having you freaking coming off the edge and I got to escape and step up.
Dozens of
practices. It was kind of a full circle moment to where the last play, and it was all those factors. And yeah, I mean, whenever you're staring down the gun, you just got to take it. Right. I mean, it's always a better feeling. You make the throw and you get popped rather than, you know, maybe you try and shy away from it and you miss it, or I think it's kind of that same notion. Like, you know, you're going to get chipped. You know, you got this one-on-one.
Might as well make it work.
Beat his ass. Yeah, like you got him as part of the job description.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Those scout team reps that you talked about, I mean, how important is that? Is the value in there in the training camp, or is it more like actual once we get down to practice, once we start game planning and you're, we're
Practice
dialing
gets
up
you
blitzes,
confidence
so you're
for the
seeing
game.
actual, perfunctory
That's part of the
defenses and more so
preparation
than
process.
just a bland, hey, everybody gets the same stuff.
Yeah, no, I think it's both because you're going to see both in the flow of a game. But like training camp, the struggle is, we're both going through installs, and today you guys might install cover 6, and you're going to see split safety. You might install, cover 9, or you might have some designer blitzes, and we're installing, I don't know, a couple screen pass, or we're installing base stuff too. So you're trying to make that play look good, but
right.
Most often times than not, it's not like you guys are putting in something that's not great either, unless, you're just getting man and you're still learning the language. So I think for me, it was just kind of growing, learning all those things, mastering the offense. And then now you get to kind of season and scout team. Now you're just playing football and now you're just reacting. And now you kind of bridge that with the install of a game plan element. And then you can kind of just fly from there. So, and I think that was the coolest part, was being able to kind of get full speed reps at all of that. When now you got the offense down, now you can kind of keep going and there's no like unknownness.
Right.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
for sure.
They got
I think
certain
I've said
schedule
it
of
in
plays.
my mind the
Their
last
favorite
6 years.
plays.
I said, I don't know if training camp is worth it.
Yeah.
when I look at it, just like the volume of plays that you have, and like it's
Yeah.
always install. I'm like, bro, give me, like, I don't need to know 300 plays going into practice. Give me to game week where we have, boom, this is our 30 or 40 plays.
Our call
I can
sheet.
lock in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me my
And
call
that was
sheet.
where I don't know if you remember just my performances in the scrimmages or
And that's
the
what
preseason
happened.
games. And, I feel like that was when I was playing my best because we got our plays. That was, at the time we didn't have our full offense, but this is our plays, this is our script. And now we're just calling it, and you're just playing against defenses. You're just playing rather than,
You're reading
the
defense.
scripted periods and stuff like that.
Yeah,
where
that's right.
I totally agree. You got a bunch of different things, and it's part of it. You got to get the reps in. You got to build the team chemistry over time. You got to build the repertoire of the plays. But I think you're right though. I mean, it better than anybody else. Over time, like there's an element of like, let's get to it.
Bullets.
Yeah.
Live bullets, like that's when it matters. I say, people can go undefeated in preseason or lose all their games in preseason. It don't hold no weight.
No.
Like, what we're bringing to the table week 1 does not mean anything for preseason at all. Like that's just trying to figure out the roster spots or trying to get familiar with your offense or defense. Like,
getting reps in for young guys or stuff like that, where you can kind of build a film catalog and
right.
For a young guy like me, it was beneficial to kind of just play a little bit. But like you said, there's not that much of a real element, especially when you're coming in but it helped me out so much. First game, you're going against, Vita Vea and Antoine Winfield and, all these guys, and you got, the Rams the next week, the Panthers and these really high level defenses. And that was the best thing for me. Just kind of just go throw it in the fire and go operate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a part of the game where you've seen improvement, because don't think for a second that Cam Jordan is just sharing this information with us here on this podcast and not with his defensive coordinator and with Coach Kellen Moore. Don't think that's this is just an idea that he had on the show. A lot of stuff changed from a defensive standpoint because of the vocalness of Cam Jordan and his ability to kind of tell the coaches what will work better. And that's what I'm saying when we were saying during the improvement that people started to see was the fact that I kept saying that to have success, you got to wrap the game around the quarterback. You got to wrap the game around the man. And that's what we seen happen. We seen them start say, hey, what plays do you like to run? And them starting running them. And then also there is the scouting report that plays a part of the decision-making ability for the offense and defense. The scouting report says we're not just going to go out here and run a bunch of random plays. We're going to go and choose the plays that fit according to the success model, which means if you're facing off against a defense that has a really good secondary, but weak up front, then we have to attack them up front. So they bring resources down. You see, so whatever the different team was we were playing, we have to take advantage of their weakness or the inability to stop something or other. You get what I'm saying? While we running our stuff, so you have a larger enough play selection where you can be able to then know how to attack different defenses down the schedule. And in order to do that, that's what Cam was saying was the workload or what they were learning was too much. Don't think for a second they didn't shrink that list down. It made it more streamlined. It made it more easier. That's why the locker room was starting flowing. Things started flowing better because the players and coaches was talking about what it takes to win, and ultimately that's what it was. They took to win in this situation. Let's get back to it.
Think about that. Throwing us to the fire. Our moniker, our mantra this year was "Tough Together Enjoy." Kellen Moore's. And I was like,
guys. Just go for it.
Go for it. Just go for it. Does he actually get mad? I haven't. Does he because in our interactions, he's just so level-headed, calm. He's like, hey man, this is what this, and I appreciate it. And at the same time, like, I need you to mother somebody. Like,
yeah, I remember him getting mad in training camp during like walkthroughs, and I think maybe a cuss word slipped out, and I was like, oh my god. Oh, it's kind of like a disappointed. It's almost worse. Like he's like gets disappointed, and it's like as to your dad, like your dad gets disappointed in you or your grandpa, and you're just like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Yeah. Rather than like somebody, I don't know, but there's kind of a tongue in cheek element, but like short answer is he's the same dude. Like you said, like he's the same dude. He's very analytical, very smart.
Yeah, he is the same dude. You don't see him slamming his hand down.
That's not who he is. He's not an MFer, and that's fine. I think as long as he's the same guy every day, and that's why
Tyler Shough is a cusser.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
he's a cusser. He lets him fire.
This coaching staff, Kellen, Staley, my guy Jay Rogers, my position coach Jay Rogers. This is the most texting savvy group I've ever been a part of. Like they text everything. Like, hey, I was thinking about this, or hey, like, what do you think about this blitz, or what is?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, this open line of communication. I've heard, like, in my mind, it's like, hey, coach, I need to come talk to you, or hey, Cam, come talk to me up top or something like that. They just like text it out immediately, like random thoughts, middle of the day. Like Jay Rogers will like shoot us a text like, hey guys, I don't know if you saw this clip, and he just like sends it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yo, I ain't never had a coach like this.
Yeah, that's like, kind of real. I mean, that's kind of how like
communication, baby.
Your friends, your mentors communicate like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Like that's how Cal and I text a bunch. Like, hey, this is what we're thinking this week. Resist coverage, or like, what do you like this week? Yeah, just popping it, and it just kind of stirs this dialogue and these ideas that get going. And then because that's how it is on game day. Like, hey, what are you seeing here? Or I'm thinking this play call, and I think he's really elite at that. And like that's cool to hear from the defensive coaches as well. Just having that open communication and. Because it is a collaborative effort. Like we do well, they do well. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to be here. So I don't think there needs to be like there is a hierarchy for sure, but like it doesn't need to be like a detriment.
It's a clear-cut hierarchy.
Yeah, there is a hierarchy, but like there doesn't need to be like I'm talking down to you. Like hey, we're trying. Let's all be great.
Yeah. I mean, exactly that. That's what I said. That tough together joy. I said, hell yeah. I said Monday through Saturday, I'm with it. Tough together joy. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in the season, you heard me rattle off in the locker room. We were down. He's like, Kellen was like, "Hey, it's tough together, joy." I said, "That joy right now." I was like, I got piss and vinegar for you. I was like, I'm with the tough. I'm with the together. Everything we do got to be that way. But I don't need a smile to be out here. We're down. We got to swing our way back in. And then, of course, we go out there and whatever the game was, win, lose, or draw, like we came close or succeeded expectation. The craziest stat is like we never gave back a lead once we got it. Like,
that's right.
If we captured a lead, we never gave it back.
That's right.
So, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. I say all we need to do is get up by one. If we get up by one, we won.
That's true.
That's a good thing, man. You got to. I mean, we had a couple comebacks too. We got to figure out a way to start faster. I don't know what it looks like, but figuring out a way to take them out there high. I mean, we had I don't know. It's more of a question for you. I don't know if we got to start later. We got to drink some more coffee in the morning, or we got to.
I don't drink coffee. You're a coffee guy?
You're just. I mean, whatever.
You're just wired naturally.
I'm just saying, whatever it takes. Maybe you got to start drinking coffee, Kim.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm gonna get the little espresso machine. I know the tight ends or the quarterback room probably got one of those little fancy joints. I'm gonna go get me one of them frappes. Is that the ice joint? I'm gonna start coffee next year. Year 16 coffee coming.
Just start changing it now. You gotta go through your process. I'll handle the
the coffee
juice.
Oh man, I think that start fast works both ways, because it'll be like some leaky coverage that the defense will do, and we'll let up like 3 or 7 points that first drive darn near every time. And I'm like, bro, and then pitch a hell of a game. You're like, if we could just eliminate that, or we have those random penalties. Those first like 6 games, it was like we were one of the most penalized teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean, that was likewise. I think on offense, there's too many. I feel like that was a story. There's too many times where you're coming in like, hey, this is, and we shorted up a little bit, but just cadence stuff, jumping off sides, penalties. I think that's probably a definite area of emphasis going into this offseason. Starting in OTAs, like, hey, we're like the standard set. Like we know what it looks like. We can't take anything less.
No doubt. This offseason, you looking forward to anything? I heard you're staying here this offseason.
I'll be here for sure. I got baby boy on the way. So we're staying in New Orleans, and I'm excited though. It's kind of,
no, the baby.
It's been a while for you since the rookie season, but rookie year, obviously there's a lot of go. So it's kind of finally being able to kind of relax a little bit. And, we got, I mean, my thing is like, I got drafted here. We're living here now. It's kind of a new home element. I'm why not kind of be around the community, be around everybody. And, my wife, Jordan, she's been great this whole year. So we're kind of excited, just kind of take a deep breath and, hopefully do some Mardi Gras stuff and then kind of hit the ground running again.
Absolutely. I mean, you got a favorite restaurant here yet? You go to offensive line dinners. Eric McCoy knows he knows more restaurants than I do, I think.
Yeah. So I got a
Hmm.
couple different categories. I think if you got like 6 to 8 people, maybe a family outing. I love Saba. I love the family Israeli cuisine.
I love Saba.
I love Rockin' Saki with the boys was awesome. Like that was epic.
Better than Yakuza House? Oh. Yakuza House is elite now.
I think Yakuza House, I've been there many times. Yakuza House with the sashimi, it is elite. You can't really beat that. But just like with the guys at Rockasaki was really cool.
Right. Great vibes.
Neo's, shout out Neo's.
Shout out
His
Neo's.
wife in the back.
Neo's.
Yeah, they got the Creole cuisine. Dude, I mean, you're in there and it's like I'm the only white person. They got like full like Nelly going on the radio. Like they got like young boy, just straight cuss words going. I'm like, this is sick. Like this is awesome.
I gotta give me one of them daiquiris, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Give one of them octanes. You got to.
Yeah.
Char-grilled oysters going up. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Need it every time.
No, it was a great time. I mean, you could handpick any of them. What was the taco place we just went to?
Barracuda's.
Barracuda was great. Nice little outdoor vibe.
With Francolini's right across the street. I was so upset that it wasn't open. I was going to double dip.
What is it called?
It's Francolini's. It's a little sandwich spot. The Italian super sub type situation on the focaccia bread, freshly baked focaccia. Yeah. Well, New Orleans doesn't lack places to eat. Shout out to Port Orleans.
That sounds
they got
fire.
really good food too. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, I got a different list, but those are
gave
good
me
too.
some great suggestions, but I'm fired up to kind of be here in the off season and start exploring some more because you only get in season you got a lot of facility food most of the time and some O-line dinners like he said, so you got to branch out, which is fun. But
take Jordan over to Desi Vegas, get the Who Dat shrimp and then
we've been there.
Exactly.
Desi's my guy. He's got some. I mean, that place. I would say if you're gonna go to a steakhouse and like you got some people in town, like you can't go wrong with Desi's.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, they got that red velvet brownie.
All right, enough, Cam, bro. You making me hungry, dog. All right, anyway, man, this is the interview right here with Cam and Tyler Shough, rookie sensation. Of course, Tyler Shough was named the offensive rookie of the month. Of course, we won't know until February when we'll figure out or find out rather when they'll name, and give all the honors out, name the rookies of the year and so on and so forth. And will Tyler Shough make it? Me personally, it'll be between Tyler Shough and Ted McMillan, I believe, for the spot. Ted McMillan had a phenomenal year. Remember when Ted was drafted, a lot of people, he had that video out where he is not in, what he said, he wasn't in love with football, and people are like, that's a red flag, don't draft him. I'm like, man, that's bull. You can have a wide receiver coach that can come in here and teach him how to love the game because the talent was there. I mean, and really he kind of kind of reclassified his thought process on that. But the bottom line is, man, listen, they're trending in the right direction. Cam Jordan wants to come back. Tyler Shough is understanding that they have a group of plays that they will see, and we just have to keep on improving on it. Now, of course, next year is going to be tougher on him as he hit his sophomore year, simply because there's a lot of film to study on what he does. And if anything, if you can still excel when people are studying your film to break your game down to understand what you're doing and stopping you, and you're able to still be able to have success, that's a whole nother level. That will put you in rarefied air in the NFL in terms of some of these signal callers, right? But it's very positive nonetheless. And all the Saints need to do next is just keep adding talent around Tyler Shough. Anyway, that's all I got for you on this episode of the show, a reaction stream. It was fun listening to Cam and Tyler. Shout out to them. If you want to hear the full podcast, check it out on the NFL channel on YouTube. And Cam's Off the Edge podcast is what it's called. Off the Edge podcast. Check Cam out. It was real fun, man, listening to this because Cam, is has a good temperament, and Tyler Shough is he's a bit of a cursor, but he's also a very likable dude who is very honest. So with that being said, man, y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Big Q representing the mighty Who Dat Nation. And I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Peace, and I'm out.